Olivia stood outside the cafe and checked her phone one last time. Her hands were shaking, not from the cold October wind, but from something deeper. Fear, maybe, or hope. She couldn't tell anymore. The dating app had matched her with Daniel 3 weeks ago. His profile showed a man with kind eyes and a genuine smile. He was 52 and worked as an architect, a single father to a teenage daughter. Their messages had flowed easily. Conversations about old movies and music from their youth. He made her laugh with stories about trying to understand his daughter's slang. She had almost canceled twice today. Standing there with her crutches felt like carrying a neon sign that screamed her vulnerability. The accident had happened 8 months ago. A simple grocery run interrupted by a distracted driver. Her leg would heal, the doctors said. But healing took time. Time that made her feel like the world was moving forward while she stood still. The cafe door opened. Daniel stepped out looking around. When his eyes found hers, they lit up with recognition. She gripped her crutches tighter. He walked toward her with easy confidence. Not rushed, but deliberate. When he reached her, he didn't look down at the crutches first. He looked at her face. Really looked. Like he was seeing someone he had been waiting to meet for a long time. Olivia heard herself whisper the words before she could stop them. Please don't laugh at my crutches. The sentence hung in the air between them. Daniel's expression shifted. Not to pity. Not to awkwardness. But to something softer. He reached out and gently took her hand. Olivia, I would never laugh at you. His voice was steady and warm. My daughter broke her ankle last year playing soccer. I watched her struggle every day trying to be brave. I know how hard this must be. Tears pressed against Olivia's eyes, but she blinked them back. I almost didn't come today. I thought you might see me differently than my photos. Daniel shook his head slowly. I see someone strong enough to show up even when it's hard. That tells me more about who you are than any photo ever could. He gestured toward the cafe door. Can we go inside? I promise to walk as slowly as you need. They found a quiet corner table by the window. Daniel pulled out her chair and waited patiently as she settled in. He took her crutches and leaned them carefully against the wall within her reach. The coffee arrived steaming and fragrant. Olivia wrapped her hands around the cup, drawing comfort from its warmth. So, tell me something real, Daniel said, leaning forward. Not the rehearsed first date stuff. Something that matters to you. Olivia looked into his eyes and saw a genuine interest there. I used to dance. Before all this, I taught ballet to kids on Saturday mornings. I missed the way it felt to move without thinking, to just exist in the music. Daniel nodded slowly. I understand that. After my divorce, I stopped sketching for almost 2 years. Architecture was just work, but sketching was joy. One day, my daughter found my old sketchbooks. She asked why I stopped creating things just for me. I didn't have a good answer. Did you start again? Olivia asked. Eventually. It felt awkward at first, like I had forgotten how to see beauty in simple things. But little by little it came back. Different than before, but maybe better. More intentional. They talked for 3 hours. The café filled and emptied around them. Daniel told her about raising his daughter alone. The fear of not being enough. The small victories that kept him going. Olivia shared her journey through physical therapy. The frustration of depending on others. The unexpected kindness of strangers. When the cafe staff began stacking chairs, Daniel looked at his watch. I don't want this to end, he said simply, but I have to pick up my daughter from her study group. Can I see you again? Olivia felt something unfold in her chest. Something that had been tightly closed for months. Yes, I would really like that. He walked her to her car, moving at her pace without making it obvious. At her door he paused. Thank you for taking a chance today. I know it wasn't easy. Olivia looked up at him. Thank you for seeing me. Not just the crutches, but me. Daniel smiled. That's the only part worth seeing. As she drove home, Olivia realized something had shifted. The crutches were still there. The injury was still real. But for the first time in months, she felt like herself again. Not broken, not less than. Just someone learning to move through the world differently. Daniel texted her that evening. My daughter wants to know if my date went well. I told her it was the best first date I've ever had. She says that's a relief because apparently I've been smiling at my phone for the last hour. Olivia laughed out loud in her empty apartment. Tell her the feeling is mutual. Their second date was a picnic in the park. Daniel brought a thick blanket and pillows so she could be comfortable. Their third was a movie marathon at his place. His daughter joined them and made popcorn. 6 months later, Olivia returned to teaching ballet. She moved differently now, more carefully but also more gratefully. Daniel came to watch her first class back. Afterward, he handed her a sketch. It showed a dancer mid-movement, strong and graceful. She recognized herself in the lines. "This is how I see you," he said quietly. "This is who you've always been." Olivia held the drawing close. Sometimes the hardest thing is believing we deserve kindness when we feel vulnerable. But that's exactly when we need it most. Daniel pulled her close. And sometimes the best things come from taking chances when we're scared. She rested her head against his shoulder. The crutches were long gone now, but she would never forget what they taught her. That strength isn't about standing alone. It's about letting someone walk beside you. And that real love sees past the surface, to the courage underneath. Please tell me where you're watching my video from, and at what time. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment about a time when someone's kindness changed your perspective. Your story matters, and we'd love to hear it.